Hello, everyone. It's your boy, God Jr., Always Society. We're going to jump right into this one. This is the Mazzaroth HOLYDAYS. You know, the HOLYDAYS, when they decided, if you know anything about words, HOLYDAY is actually, they say it now as holiday. You know what I'm saying? Then they throw a couple things in there to trick you. If you know anything about wordplay, wordplay is really strong when you when you want somebody to believe something different. Like for instance, a place where a bunch of stolen artifacts, you see the definition? It's called a museum. Well, it is a museum. But a museum is described as a place that has a collection of stolen artifacts, or a collection of ancient artifacts from around the world. You see the difference how them words play, and it's the same thing, but one is in a way that, like how we change words all the time, like a woman with friendly vagina. We didn't call this lady a slut, a skeezer, a hoochie, a whore, a hoe. You get what I'm getting at. So you got to realize some of the stuff that I'm gonna teach you was called different things back then, and now they're called a different name and has a different definition for the name to cover up what it originally meant. So you got to think about, like with the Mazzaroth. The Mazzaroth is one of the original teachings, because everything that we learned comes from it. We use it for everything. So let's just get into this one. This is Mazzaroth, the HOLYDAYS. This part 4. Oh yeah, and one more thing before people get started. Like, man, I don't want to know about no pagan holidays and pagan religion. Let's get this straight about. See, people don't understand that it's always a group of people that's more popular that decide to call somebody that's not in their group. You know what I'm saying? They like to group people into lower forms than their self, if you want to say that like that. So, you know what I'm saying? The pagan people was like common people, man. They was like the people that didn't join the kingdom, like back in the Caesars and all that. They wasn't a part of the kingdom. They wasn't friends of the big party, you know what I'm saying, the big groups, the rich people of the area. Just like right now we got the rich people and we got the people that's the working class. The working class don't hang out with the owners. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think about that like that. Cause you know what I'm saying, the pagans, you could say it like this. Pagans, they call people other names too, like they didn't believe in what they believe. Like the people that didn't believe in the spring solstice like they did, they called them April Fools. You know, the people that was into like the phases of the moon, the ones that studied the phases of the moon, they started calling them lunatics because the moon was called Luna back in those days. The people that they basically kicked them out of their land, and then when they tried to sneak back in to get to their possessions or try to whatever, they called them Hebrews, which is basically a negative word. You know what I'm saying? It's like calling people the N-word today. You know what I'm saying? Just like we got the N-word. You know what I'm saying? Etc. Just like in school, they got the people that go there to learn, and the people that is into learning the most, they didn't label them nerds. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep it. When you calling people pagans, it's not a bad thing. Pagans was just something that they called those people that was like the farmers, the people that did the landscaping, the people that did all the jobs people didn't really want to do. So you gotta know that, and you always gotta think about it like this. Everyone that works outside the government today is considered a pagan, will be considered a pagan in the old days, because you ain't with that crowd. You ain't with the rich crowd like the Bill Gates and all them. They all hang out in So you got to think about it. When someone needs to make fun of your knowledge only means they lack in the area of information. Other than that, they will just teach you the knowledge that they have on the subject. So remember that anyone could create a history from another group just by being the popular crowd. The popular crowd gonna spread the information without learning if it's true or not, and then spread it to everyone, and that they feel that they above. And before you know it, everybody believe this, and don't anybody even realize that this person had his own personal agenda, or it was just a attention-seeking behavior. But yeah, let's get back into what we're on. So now with this Mazzaroth, you know what I'm saying, we back on the Mazzaroth again. Now we on the holy days. Let's go with these holy days. So if you look at this chart, you will see that all these, if the ones in red, the boxes that are in red are actually the Cardinal Cross. It's what we use. That's where we get the cross from. It's both of the solstice and both of the equinox make the cross, as you can see. And then the boxes that's in black, that's in the inside with those are considered the cross quarter days. And as we go on, you'll see what cross quarter means and why these days are so important with these holy days or these holidays or whatever, however you want to wordplay it, you know what I'm saying? Because like we just got to talking about, wordplay is a mud when you know how to use words. Just like using ebonics over proper English. Wordplay is something else if you know the actual wordplay. So if you look at the March 21st line, you notice that's above the equator. March 21st. So anything above the equator is considered the spring once it come above the equator at 0 degrees. See, with all the calendars and stuff, they messed all that up. So we don't really know it by the date no more. We just know it by the degrees. So when the degrees happen, you know what it really is versus this messed up calendar system that kind of confuses you. So it keep popping up all over the place. You don't know when it's going to pop up because these days are all messed up and the count just messed it all up. But if you notice, like I told y'all, it's all about the sun. So when the sun passed over the equator, over the vernal equinox, the equator is the vernal equinox, is what I'm trying to say. So if you look at all these holidays, you'll see that it's like, I got just a few of them just to let y'all, give y'all an understanding, because it's just basic. It's just a little simple little chart that I made for y'all, but it's way more all around the world, and there's just a few countries that I decided to pick out just to make it quick and easy. So you got Sakura. Look at that, Vernal Equinox Day. You know what I'm saying? That's actually, I think that's Japan. You know what I'm saying? They actually just named it that, you know what I'm saying? Because they know what it really is. It's the beginning of spring, you know what I'm saying? So if you look at all these, they got the Festival of Annunciation on the 25th. They got the Ascension Day, Ramadan, Ramanavami, Holy Week, Palm Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, Pesach, the Passover. You hear that? The Passover. The sun, like I told you, the sun passed over the equator. It's the marking of spring. Is when the sun passes over the equator. This is what it all means. When it passes over the equator, they wait till the moon comes to pass over and becomes a full moon. So the first full moon is when it's at its degrees, because that's when you know that it happened, because now the moon has passed over and became the first full moon of the year. And that's how you know the sun passes first. That's what it's like, that little bride. He waiting on his bride or whatever. So the moon comes second. So yeah, if you notice, even look, Eastern Star Service. That's what Eastern really mean. Eastern star service. If you look at this map, the reason why I put it in this way, so I want you to be able to see it, but it really go on the right side where Virgo would be at, because that's the east. Rise in the east, and then sets in the west would be on this side, you know what I'm saying, instead. But so you could read it, this is how I put it for you, because that's why I always had the degrees in a different way. And if you look at it, they got the then by the cross quarter day, they got a bunch of celebrations. I just put one right there. That's the HOLYDAYS. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but you get what I'm saying. We'll have to go over there. I just want you to see the they got Shavuot in June. They got the Pentecost in June. You know what I'm saying? And then they got the St. John's Baptist Festival. That's St. John the Baptist, one that's supposed to baptize Jesus, you know, the Son. You'll see that's John the Baptist's birthday. His birthday is like the opposite of Jesus, because Jesus is supposed to be born, you know, December 25th, or the Son is born December 25th, and he born because when the Son is when the Son of Jesus, whatever deity you want to put to it, when the Son is born on the 25th, the what is it, Saturn is going down. I can't remember, but I'll teach y'all that too when I get to it. I think, but this John the Baptist, Jesus' cousin's birthday. And then we got the aphelion is when the sun is the furthest away from the earth. And then we got Asaha Puja on July 13th. You know, we got a lot of things that's dealing with it. Look at the transfiguration of Jesus in August, the fest of the Assumption in August, Onan, August, Nefertiti of the Virgin, Nativity of the Virgin. And then if you notice them all the summer, these are all the summer holidays. Like I say, it's more. And if you look at the other cross quarter day, Lammas Day, there's a bunch of holidays around that day. And then you look at the nocturnal equinox. Then you got a bunch of them in September after the sun passes back over the equator, going down south now, which is fall in the northern hemisphere. If you looked at any of my other videos, if you look at those, you know they got the Rosh Hashanah, they got the Yom Kippur. They got a bunch of holidays that's dealing with the sun turning the northern hemisphere into fall once it moved down beneath the equator again. And then, you know, we move to the other cross quarter day, which is October the 31st. That's why they call it Halloween. And, you know, everybody got their own little celebration around this time, because that's when the veil between the spirit world and our world is the thinnest. So a lot of people claim they see ghosts and, you know, family members and people that popping up in a ghost form, you know what I'm saying? That's where they start dressing like him, because they start celebrating the death of their people, which is like in the, they say that they come hang out at that time, you know. That's why they got the Day of the Dead in Mexico, and, you know, they got the All Saints Day, the All Souls Day. That's why it's dealing with like spirit world, you know what I'm saying? Then they got the Saturnalia Day in December, because, you know, in Capricorn Sagittarius area, Saturn rules that area. That's Saturn's area. You know what I'm saying? So when the sun hit there, and when the solstice, that's when they start. You know what I'm saying? The little, I won't say worship, because people think when you say worship, people look at worship like it's you bowing down and lowering yourself, but it ain't really called worship. It's called worthship, which means showing something's worth, like what it means in worth. Like if we had diamonds versus gold, the worthship would be of the diamonds, because it's more, you get it, it's about worth. So, like I say with wordplay, you get different words. We're going to move on, though. Then we got Christmas Day, Jesus' birthday. We got all these days. And if you look at, I'm going to teach y'all about the Jesus story after this one. Or if I decide to, it might be something else. I got more. But I'm going to give you a briefing of this. Jesus' birthday. If you look at the festival of the Annunciation, which is March 25th, they use that as the sun when the Gabriel came and told Mary she was going to be conceiving. And if you count 9 months after that, it becomes December the 25th. And if you count 6 months after that, when he's born of a virgin, is when it drops at 6 months into Libra. You know what I'm saying? And that's when the baby drop around it. It's so deep the way they got it hooked up. But if you look at all the rest of them, you'll see that around Groundhog's Day, it's a bunch of, because that's another cross-quarter day. So around Groundhog's Day, they got another bunch of festivals. And if you look at the rest of the chart, you will notice that around these times, they call it the eight spoken wheel. We're gonna call it. These are the Cardinal Cross, and we got the fixed cross. The fixed cross is, if you notice, the fixed cross is Taurus, Libra, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And the other ones are basically Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, and Libra. And that's the Cardinal Cross. So I just wanted to brief this to y'all. I'm gonna get more in detail about every holiday and all that as we go on. But just to show you that the Mazzaroth is also used in everybody's festivals, holidays, holy days, because all these days really mean something. And so we got the Vernal Equinox of spring, summer solstice is when the sun is at its highest. The longest days of the year is summer solstice. Eternal equinox is when they go beneath the equator, bringing in fall. That's why they call it fall. Then the longest night of the year is the winter solstice. And then you got the cross-quarter days, which is May Day, which is towards Lammas Day, Halloween, and Groundhog Day. And that's the fixed cross. The ones that don't move. And they are also the middle of each season. May Day is the middle of spring, which is the best of spring. Just like Lammas Day is the middle of summer, the heart of the summer. Halloween, the heart of the August, autumn, and Groundhog Day is the heart of winter. And that's why Groundhog Day is so important, because the sun is almost back up to spring. Love to all. Till next time. Love to all, and to all, spread the light.